Hello and welcome to Business Bites, the show for small business. In this week's episode, Graham Bell gets back to marketing basics. Stephen Reddy will make your website stand out from the crowd. And in our Business Bites workshop series, Adam Bashir will show you how your business can get fit for market in an economic downturn.
Hello, welcome. Today we're spending some time with Mr. Graham Bell. Graham's been in 11 businesses over the years, so we're really pleased to have him along today. The topic we're going to discuss is market research. So, Graham, good to see you.
Hello, Rick. Thanks for having me along.
Yeah, pleasure. And can I ask, right off the bat, why would a business want to do this sort of market research?
Well, market research is a very important question, especially for new businesses, because you want to be sure there's going to be sufficient customers out there for the business to be profitable and continue on. So how can you know if there's enough customers out there?
Okay, yeah, thank you. I guess, what are the sort of types of businesses that would want to do market research? Is it across the board? For example, retail, manufacturing, all elements, should they be involved in that?
Absolutely. So every business needs to be able to do some market research to find the opportunities in the market or gaps that aren't currently filled, or to find customers and what their specific needs are. So it may be that you're just guessing what the needs of the customers are. So you really need to go and find out exactly what those opportunities are.
Okay, yeah. So to be able to find out these things, what sort of resources are out there? What's available? What we need to be able to engage to get that sort of information?
Well, some people suggest that it's best to engage specialist market research companies, and they can do a really good job, but they can also be fairly expensive, especially if you're only just looking at the viability of an opportunity. So a lot of small business people like to do their own market research. There's a range of training courses people can do, there's lots of publications and information, and there's seminars run by the Bureau of Statistics on doing market research. So there's lots of avenues for them to go to do it themselves.
So where would we find these sort of resources if we had to actually go? Given that we didn't want to do it ourselves, we need to go and find someone, outsource those sort of people.
Yeah.
How do we find those?
Well, with the Bureau of Statistics, they'll undertake market research for you. They undertake the demographic market research, so it's the facts and figures and the numbers. And also on their website, they do list a number of organisations that can buy data from the Bureau of Statistics and interpret to your small business needs. Now, the second type of market research is the psychographic or the attitudinal market research, where you really need to pose some questions to find out what's inside the minds, what sort of things influence the buying habits of customers.
Okay, so there's a lot in there that is relatively heavy sounding information. So if a business wanted to do this themselves, would you suggest that's a wise move? Is there something that they can do at a very fundamental level themselves in-house?
Sure. So certainly if it's an existing business, canvassing your existing customers. One simple way of starting off in market research is to think about the 4 Ps of marketing, as they're often referred to: the product, the price, the place, and the promotion.
Okay.
And so it can be as simple as saying to your existing customers, what products do you buy at the moment? Do you think they're good value for money? Where do you buy them from? And where did you hear about that business?
Okay, and so maybe if you can just expand on all of the Ps. What's the next P though? Products is the first one.
Yeah, product. So product, you've got to remember that in the customer's point of view, it's the product is the actual tangible thing that they buy, and also the service and any extra expertise that goes along with that. Then there's the price, which marketing people also refer to as perceived value. So it's what the customer thinks is reasonable value for money. And then there's the place, which is the distribution, about how the customers buy the products from you. It could be through a retail shop, it could be through a website, it could be through agents or distributors, or direct from your own retail shop.
Okay, fantastic. So we've gone out and either ourselves or through an outsourced provider, we've got some market research. I mean, what's the purpose? Why would a business want to dig into that sort of thing?
Well, otherwise it becomes a bit of a guessing game as to what you're providing and what the customers need. And one of the real strengths for small business is to be able to be flexible to suit the needs of the customers. And the way I like to think of it is that with a business, you're trying to find the best match between the customers and what their needs are, rather than trying to force people to buy things that you want to sell rather than what they want to buy.
Yes, it's a common situation in businesses where they find a product and trying to push that onto the marketplace that may not be very receptive.
Well, why I started my own business was essentially for The freedom?
To have as many people as possible knowing good first aid, ideally into schools.
I started business because I saw a need for computer support on site.
And I guess I wanted to do something a little different, have a bit more control of my destiny.
I really wanted control over my own destiny.
I wanted to be in charge of my own destiny.
Have longer holidays.
We wanted to go into business ourselves.
To have my own freedom.
Essentially, freedom.
To take more control over my finance, be more independent.
In order to generate a much better standard of living for ourselves, really.
Because we've always had a passion for counselling and psychology.
Basically motivated by the ability to make my own decisions in my own business.
40 years ago, I couldn't get a job.
I was tired of working for other people who told me what to do, when to do it.
So that I could create a job that I really wanted to do myself.
Coming up, Adam Bashir gives us some factors to consider when marketing in a downturn, and Stephen Reddy harnesses the power of the Google search.